welcome back to another edition of Here's What. I don't know what the hand movement is, I'm sorry. I'm Italian, I speak with my hands. Anyways, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's never a dull moment in WWE, and this past week did not disappoint. A lot of news, so we're going to get right into it. WWE NXT was overseas this past week, filming for the UK tournament. And it has been announced there's going to be a whole new brand. It's an extension of NXT. It's going to be the UK with new titles. Obviously, the NXT United Kingdom Championship is going to be defended. There's going to be a United Kingdom Women's title and a United Kingdom Tag Team title, which means we're going to get a whole new crop of amazing talent in the United Kingdom that otherwise may not be able to come over. Obviously, there's a lot of not political, visa issues, so sometimes it's hard, obviously, for talent to come over and work in the States, so it's going to be great that they're going to get the opportunity to work for WWE in the United Kingdom. I cannot wait. The tapings for that, I believe, are within the next couple of months, and we will talk about that when we see who, with the roster is announced. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. If they're going to be fully contracted by WWE or what, but it's very interesting. WWE has progressed a lot in the past couple of years, obviously thanks to Triple H with, their talent contracts and having these indie performers that otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten a chance under Vince McMahon. So I am pretty excited about that. Now, speaking of an indie performer who's still performing, James Ellsworth made his return to WWE. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, if he's gonna be full-time. He's still doing things on the indies. I mean, you either love James Ellsworth or you hate him. There's really nothing in between. I found him interesting in the beginning. I'm kind of over it now. I want Carmella to be able to establish herself on her own, and I just think adding James Ellsworth is not helping her. Speaking of Carmella, Big Cass that's a smooth segue, sorry. Big Cass was released pretty shockingly to a lot of people this past week, but there's some backstage information that came out. I don't know exactly what happened, but basically the consensus is he just was hard to work with. I'd hate to see anybody get fired. I would never wish anybody to lose their job, but it's really not a big loss for WWE. He was he was finding himself after being injured and after losing Enzo as a tag team partner, but I don't think he was ever going to be it. He was great with Enzo and Carmella, and the three of them were super entertaining, but I couldn't see him have a great singles run. Like I said, I never wish anybody to be fired, but I'm sure he'll find, we'll probably see him somewhere pretty soon. Now, sticking with SmackDown, it's finally Rusev Day. He's finally going after the WWE Championship. I mean, Rusev is very entertaining. Probably would have liked to have seen Daniel Bryan or The Miz, but, Rusev, again, he got himself over with the fans, and I think, that's what you want to see, and he is a great wrestler, and he's great on the mic, so it's going to be Rusev versus AJ Styles. Now, is Rusev going to be the person to end AJ Styles' long reign? I don't think so, but I'm glad that Rusev is finally getting the spotlight that he deserves. Now, we're going to head on over to Raw. Somebody who hasn't really been getting the spotlight, well, Sami Zayn is injured again. I'm a huge fan of Sami Zayn. I always thought he's been misused and underutilized, I guess. He never really had he never had any actual title run on the main roster, but he just seems to be plagued with injuries since moving up to Raw. I think this is a re-aggravated injury. Now they're saying he's not going to be back till 2019. I don't know. This is just pure speculation. But I can see Sammy's career winding down. He's been injured a lot over the past couple of years. I mean, he's not old, but he's in his 30s. I don't know, again, there's not a lot of details. He might have surgery, but I would hate to see his career end. He deserves that. He deserves at least one run with a world title on the main roster. I hope he gets it. I'm hoping he has a speedy recovery and he's back before they're saying. So, get well soon, Sami Zayn. I don't want to end this on a sad note, but Vader died this past week. You know, anybody who grew up in the 90s knew who Big Van Vader was, but he was a big guy, but he did the moves like Rey Mysterio, like a guy his size you would never think. I mean, obviously, they're not the same, but he did moves that you would never think a guy his size could do, and he was super entertaining. He even had that crossover appeal. He was on Boy Meets World, one of my favorite shows from the 90s. So it's just, he really inspired a lot of wrestlers, as you can see if you've gone over their Twitter the past week. A lot of wrestlers really lamented how big of an impact he had on them. That is all I have for this week. I will see you next Sunday.